Good morning, CrossFit Inconceivable. Welcome to Saturday, our typical community workout, 10 o'clock. Happy for all of you that could join us on the Zoom. And for those of you that are going to do the workout on your own at home, it is a partner workout today, consisting of burpees, jumping lunges, and lateral hopovers, 15-minute AMRAP, I go, you go. If you're doing it on your own, good luck. If you're doing it with a partner of 3, then 2 people work, 1 person's rest all the way through, and then the next person starts on the burpees. So we're going to go through some general warm-up stuff just like we always do. We'll start with some head and shoulder rotations. Like to get 10 to 12 in each direction, or whatever works for you. 15 to 20 breaths, as Coach Nate likes to say. Maybe some back and forths, some yeses, and some nos. Just kind of get your neck moving, getting it loose. You can pause this video at any time and do more, or fast forward and do less. It's entirely up to you, depending on how you feel today. Let's go ahead and do some wrists. Small joints are ones that usually injure first. Take care, spend some time, warm them up. Going to be doing some burpees, and depending on how hard you are going to jump down on the ground to do your burpees, I want to make sure that those small joints are good and warmed up, ankles, wrists, etc. Let's move on to some penguins, as I like to call them. Getting those elbows warmed up. Sometimes doing one at a time is good. Make sure you go in both directions. Those joints warmed up and moving. Maybe try to cycle them through. Whatever works best for you today. Start shoulders, arm and shoulder rotations. Start small and getting larger. Like to get as big as we can. Make sure that we're getting the full range of motion in those shoulders, forward and backwards. If you have a PVC, now might be a good time to do some PVC pass-throughs. You can use a piece of clothesline, a rope, whatever you might have. A broomstick might work well. You get a PVC, get a nice wide grip on there, driving through the shoulders, pushing from the shoulders and then rotating over, up and down. Let's get some of those around the world. Just working one shoulder at a time. If you're super limber, then move your hands closer together. Just get some shrugs, bringing those shoulders up to those ears. Nice. And you can do this with or without a PVC. I'm just going to do some barbell stuff later, so I tend to keep it in my hands. Let's pull our shoulder, our elbows up high. Remember, we want to pull them up and we don't want to pull them back. Very important when we're snatching and also when we're cleaning. Just kind of get those traps and those shoulder blades moving and rotating. Get some hip rotations. Remember when we go back that we're hinging and we're not just leaning forward at the waist or rounding our back, chest up, chin up, and rotate. Driving those hips back as far as you can. Getting the hamstrings involved. Squeezing the glutes in the forward position. From the front, look something like this, and the other way. Let's go ahead and put those feet underneath our hips, and we're going to hinge. Try to get our chest and belly down on top of our thighs. Your knees are going to bend naturally. Again, we're hinging, warming up those hamstrings, warming up those glutes as we come to the forward position and squeeze. Bring knees together, hands on top of the knees, rotate. In the Army, we call this the knee and ankle rotation. Just gets those ankles moving, nice and easy. If for some reason this rotation bothers your knees or your ankles, it is also fully acceptable to rock those knees forward and back, and then you don't have this stress of the rotation. 5 to 10, or when things quit clicking and clacking and hurting, whatever works best for you. On down to the ankles, you can either place your toe on the floor and rotate around that toe as a pivot point, or you can float that and rotate it. Make sure you go in both directions. Again, 5 to 10 times. Whatever works best for you on both feet. Gonna do some air squats. Feet underneath the hips, toes slightly turned out, big toe, little toe, heel flat on the floor. Weight over the midfoot, hinge. As Coach Nate says, close that car door and lower. You can use your hands as a counterbalance, or you can bring your elbows inside the knees, drive the knees out, keep the chest up. I like to hold this for 5 to 6. Maybe rock back and forth, kind of stretch those calves. Should feel a nice stretch in the lower back. And then stand and back down. You don't have to rotate, I just did, so you all can see my bright, happy, smiling face today. Hope everyone's doing all right. You're getting value out of our workouts and finding value out of the Zoom workouts and continuing to work out at home on your own or in small groups as you may see fit to do. Let's get 5 of the jumping air squats. Jumping up as high as we can. Nice. Shake it out. Let's get some Cossacks. That's where we go down to one side. If you want to use something to hold on to when you first start, that's fine. Keep that chest up, heels down. Use a stick, a PVC, a counter, a chair, an ottoman, whatever you might have in your house, whatever might be nearby. If you don't need to use something, that's great. You can also do that. That's fantastic. Let's go ahead and sit down on the floor and borrow from limber 11 today. Reach forward as far as you can, either touching your ankles or the floor out in front of you. Roll back, put your feet over your head, and then back down. We'll get 5 or 6, maybe even 10 of these. Kind of stretch out that lower back, start warming things up. Maybe take the time to reach up over the side from that seated position and pull. Stretch that lat out a little bit. And back to the other side. Nice. So we're going to be doing some lunge work today. Jumping lunges as well as burpees and lateral hopovers. Let's take the time and stretch those calves out real well. I like to elevate my foot today. I'm using my rumble roller. You put it up against a wall. Stand on a weight. Put your foot up on a book. And then you want to, once that toe's nice and elevated, bring that weight forward. Should get a nice stretch up the back of that calf to the bottom of your knee. Maybe hold 5 to 10 seconds. And switch. Again, you can pause the video at any time. Take more time, take less time. Whatever you feel is going to work best for you. I know most of you are at home, don't have room to progress across the floor like we typically would with a Spider-Man. Go ahead and get into that dragon or lizard, Spider-Man, whatever your practice is that you prescribe to. Place that elbow inside and drive that knee out. Maybe drive it towards the floor. And breathe. Again, 10 to 15 seconds. And switch. You can switch dynamically, or you can just go to the other side. If you've got room, maybe a hallway or something that you can crawl down, that's great.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, doing everything a spider can.
Coach Nate singing in the background, cheering you on. All right. You can go through that again if you want to, or if you're ready to, go ahead and move straight on into the workout.